and thank you for joining us today for this version of our home shopping network today. Today I have a very nice item for us. This will be the Settlers of Catan. And this is a wonderful game. This is, I believe, the 4th edition of the game. You can see it has a very nice, beautiful artwork on the front, and it is rated as one of the best board games in the world. It's won Game of the Year before, and it's been printed many times. I believe this is the 4th edition. So I'll be showing that to you today. Let's just adjust this a bit so you can see it. Okay, so if we take the lid off, you can see it inside a bit better. So it comes, of course, with a manual for the rules. Some rules there. You can see you flip through and it has all the pages explaining the rules to you. Now I won't go into the rules here, I'll just go through each of the pieces for those of you who have played before, or those of you who have not. You can see inside you have a nice arrangement of things here, and just so you can see how they're all laid out in the box. You can see it's all put nicely together. This is plastic, but it's a thick plastic. You can tell it'll be durable, it'll last a while. Yeah, so it's really nice, and then you have the nice sturdy cardboard box. And there are nice images along the edges here, showing you different versions of the game. This is a different map you can play. And just tell you a bit more about the game there along the edges. It shows you a few different the rivals for Catan. This is an expansion that makes it able to be played for 2 players. So there are a variety of expansions that can go with this game. And so now I'll show you each of these bits individually. Okay, so we'll start off with the outside. This is part of the board. You have these linking pieces together, and there are camera work is a bit shoddy today. I do apologize for that. So we have each of these, and you can see that they have numbers here. If you look closely, this one has a 5 and a 6. So you put the 2 numbers together, and they do form the board. So they go together like this. Like so, and then they form a big hexagon. You can see the hexagon. And so this particular piece has a 2-for-1 wood piece, and then it also has a 3-for-1, just for any resource you might have. And this one has a 2-for-1 coal, and you can see they have nice little images showing that it's a port and that those 2 spaces would lead to that port. And then we also just have a nice ocean background behind. The next piece that we have, this one only has 1, but it does also have a 2-for-1 wood port on there, and this one is 3 and 4. And this one we have is 3-for-1 over here, and the 2-for-1 clay over there, and that one has a 2 and a 3. And then our 1 and our 2 piece has a 3-for-1 just in the middle. say that well. I do apologize for that. And then our final piece, we have a 3-for-1 port and also a 2-for-1 for sheep. And if you just see, you do have this nice detail just showing the port, and it does go over very nicely. And so those form into a nice board, but then there's obviously nothing in the middle with those, and so I'll go through and I'll show you. You can see there's a variety of pieces, and they all go down to form the board, and that is the great thing about the game, is because it's not one set board, you are able to have a different board every time you play, and so that is a very nice feature of this game, and something that makes it have great replay value. You can play it again and again and again and just enjoy it every time. So you have a variety of pieces, as we were speaking about the sheep. So you have the pasture, and that's where the sheep go on, and so you have a few pieces, and you can see it has nice little artwork on there. Just looks like a nice pasture that the sheep could go and graze on, that really enjoy eating on that grass there. And so it does have that nice image, so that you know that would be a good place for sheep to go and a good place to get some wool for yourself. The next one we have is wheat. As you can see, this one has a very nice, those golden fields. You can see planted in rows, so there's some that have been harvested there a bit, and then there's also ones that are still grown up to their top height with all their fronds flaying in the wind. Flaying? Not flaying. Flying, maybe. But so that's a very nice piece. And just so you are aware, we are running a special on this game today, and also all the expansion packs, and so do stay tuned, and we will be able to tell you more about those deals if you would like to order a few of them. The next we have is the ore. You can just see some nice rugged mountains there. Nice place to go and mine some iron ore. And then just a nice little bit of water in there. And very beautiful pieces. Sorry, we have a cat in the studio today. He's very well behaved. Yes, but so I do really like these pieces. We have another wheat. As you can see, these are both ore pieces, but so they do have different designs on each piece as well. So you see this one doesn't have any, let's hold this one. This one doesn't have any, it looks like a kind of pond or lake thing in the middle, and this one does. And so you just have that nice little bit of variety to just add that extra nice feel to the game. And you also have a desert, and this is where the robber usually starts out on. And you can see the nice, just those nice flowing peaks of the sand, as if they've been blown in the wind just to make that nice curvy shape. And then you can see right there just a little oasis, just a nice place that it would be to find in the middle of the desert. Just that little piece of hope in the middle of the game. Next we have our pieces that give you your wood. So these are your forest pieces. You can just see they have covered in trees. They look very lush, and just little huts in the middle where people could sit there to log, and hopefully not log too much, but just the right amount to keep the forest self-sustaining. We have more sheep, and finally we have the clay. And you can see this is a nice earthy brownish red, And just a nice place to go and dig some clay up, and you can just see it cut through the hills a bit. So yeah. So there are a few more of these pieces, but these are the 5 basic ones with the desert as an additional one, because there's only one copy of the desert actually. But so those are the pieces, and so those go down in the middle of the board on the outside to create the game. The next thing I'll show you are the building cost cards. This game, it does have an expansion pack for up to 5 to 6 players, but in just the normal version, you are just going to get 4 players. And so you have a white, orangey, yellow, blue, and red. And so each person will get their own individual card, so it's very convenient to just be able to keep by you as you're playing the game to know how much things might cost. And so I'll just take one and show you in a bit more detail. So it'll just show you that a road will cost 1 wood, and 1 clay, and then a settlement will cost these. So it will cost 1 wood, 1 clay, 1 wheat, and 1 sheep. And then a city will cost 3 ore and 2 wheat. And then to purchase a development card, you need 1 sheep, 1 wheat, and 1 ore. It also just advises you a couple of the rules down there. Just a little reminder so everybody can stay level-headed during the game. And so you have 4 of those, 1 for each color. And then you also have these 2 cards which denote part of what will give you points in the game. So one is the largest army. So if you are able to get 3 knights, which you can purchase through development card, then you would be the first person to get the largest army, and as long as you maintain the most knights, then you keep the largest army. And so you get this card, and you can see there's a nice image of an army on there, and it shows largest army. And so then this piece will stand for 2 points. And then the other one is the longest road. So once you connect 5 road pieces together, then you would be able to take this for the longest road, and that is also worth 2 points. What was I going to say? So that would give you the longest road, and you'll keep that as long as you keep the longest road and have the most segments in your road. So that's that piece. Yeah, so these are, and again, just the quality of these is very nice. They're very thick. They're not going to bend very easily, and they're not a flimsy card. It's very nice cardboard. You can see it's thick, so that and it also has that nice blue on the background, just kind of a theme throughout the game to keep everything on the same page. Okay, so that's those. Those are the bigger pieces. I'll next show you the cards. So it does come with a box for the cards to come in. And then if we just open that up, we can take the cards out. So then you have just the cards to denote your wood, cards to denote your sheep. So there's quite a bit of wood and sheep, and then also your ore. So you can see that there. So just a lot of nice cards. So that's that half, and then there's another half. Oh, that a little bit. Okay, so you also have your development cards, which are those, and we'll go through those in a little bit more detail. I'll put those just to the side for the time being. And so then you also have your wheat and your clay, and then you could see a bit of the wood in the back. But yeah, so there's quite a fair number of cards, and these cards on the back, they have just a general map of Catan. It's just kind of an image that's supposed to represent Catan. Obviously, in the game there ends up being lots of different maps that you can have. That's just kind of a general map, just a nice little image showing you, just representing you. So we have the ore there, and the wheat there, and the clay, and the sheep, and the wood. Just those are the colors that represent there. So it's just kind of a little mini representation there. And it is a very nice image, very beautifully presented. And then on the back of these are our development cards. And so they have a bit of a shield, kind of, you can actually see it does match the shield on the knight. So it's just the same kind of shield. So we have a few cards here. We have the knight card, which you can see there. We also have a Monopoly card. And I'll get you all of the resource of your choice that are available from the other players. There's a road building card, and that'll help you build 2 roads. All you need is that card. Then you don't have to pay for the resources. You have a Year of Plenty, and so that will give you 2 free resources. And let's see. And then we just have a that card doesn't belong there, does it? Put that back over there. And we also have these cards that are just each worth a point. So as soon as you get them, you can play them, and they're worth a point. And we have the chapel, the palace, the market, and we have the university, and the library. I believe that is it. Yes, that's it for the cards. Okay, and so now I'll just put these back. So just kind of divide them in half. Put them in that way. Okay. So put those to the side. What shall we do next? I'll just show you the robber real quick. It's just a nice, cute little man. Gray, obviously, because he's a bandit. So the nice thing about all the pieces in this, there's not any plastic pieces. This is made out of wood, and it's painted. So you know it will last a long time. It's not going to break very easily, and so you'll be able to enjoy many years with the pieces of the game. So next I'll show you the game pieces themselves that go on top of the board. So once again, there are 4 colors. And so each person would obviously take the color that goes with them, with their card, and then take the card in each color. We'll go through the reds, because they're all the same pieces. So we'll go ahead and take those out here. Okay. So we do have quite a few little pieces. So as we were talking about the cities earlier, those are the cities. You can just see they're a bit big, just have a bit of a big roof there, and so that's the cities, and there are 4 of them. Let's see, 4. Then you have settlements, which are just the little towns that kind of you're starting out. I'm trying to get my fingers out of the way here. Okay, yeah, so you have that. So they just look like a little house. So obviously just a tiny little settlement. And there are, hold those back a bit. And so there are 5 of those. So you can see 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you have your road pieces, and again, these are wooden pieces. All of these pieces are wooden pieces, and so they're made of quality wood that's not going to warp or break, and it's been sealed in and then painted over so that they'll last you a long time, and they're also just very nice quality. They're nice to play with. They feel good in the hand. And so the road pieces, I believe there are 15, but we'll go ahead and count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, and so you have those pieces on for each of the players. And they each have their own little baggie to keep them in. So I'll go ahead and put these ones back, put the settlements in, and put the cities in, and I'll put the roads in. Okay. And I may just put these back into the box. Okay. And next I'll show you the dice. So I said there wasn't anything made of plastic. These are made of very high quality resin, which is a plastic, but they are still very high quality. They just are very nice. They feel nice in the hand. They have a nice weight. They're not super lightweight. So obviously if you give it an even keel, it'll be a bit loud. Go ahead and yeah, so they go very nicely. The red and the yellow doesn't really matter for this game, but it's just there for expansions. Because when you get an expansion, it would be nice to have the separate colored die, because one does mean something else. Okay, and then finally, our last little bit is just the number pieces. And so they have baggies for everything. It's really easy to keep everything separated and keep everything as it should be. So, because it's not a set board, you have to put the numbers down for each piece every time you play. They do have, and that's why, if you look at these pieces, I don't know if you can see them that well. Okay, yep, they're about there. You can see that they also have a letter on them. Can you see that? You can see the letter I there. And so there's one letter, it goes A to R, I believe. And so you can put them out because your board will be set up in kind of a way like that. So it'll just be around. So you start from the outside and you can go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Exactly. So like that. I believe it does go up to S. And you skip over the desert because there's no number that goes on the desert piece. So you can just place those down. You can do them in that order, and that will make your numbering work pretty well for most of the game. But yes, you can have issues with. But you can also try and do it randomly. But if you do it randomly, then that's when you'll have issues. But it just kind of depends on what everybody playing kind of prefers. Okay, so that is all the pieces. I'll go ahead and just show you how it all packs up very nicely. I'll show you. There we go. Okay, so these, I've put these back here, just so they just kind of pack very nicely back in there. And then you have the number pieces. The number pieces go in just right there. Now there's also extra number pieces. They're just little blank ones. Should you lose any, in case you need any others. And then there's also, remember how I showed you the ports? There's just, if you want to randomize the ports, there's little port pieces as well. And so I just put those all there. And then we put our cards on top of the housing and other pieces like that. And then those I stick right in there. I think that's where I put those. I'm not sure, I kind of forget. Oh, and the dice we just popped in right there. And then the little thief, he pops in right there. Yes. And then all our land pieces, we'll just put across right there. If you kind of open it out like that, and then go down one. And then you can just put the water pieces in like that on top of that. And then you have room just to put the game rules on top. And you can close it up. And so this is the piece for Settlers of Catan. We do appreciate your viewership today. And if you just stay tuned, we will give you ordering instructions. And I hope you've enjoyed this presentation today. Just such a quality game. I really do enjoy it, and I really do think every family should have it. It is great for everybody to play, and we look forward to seeing you next time.